So I'd like to call to order the Common Council meeting for February 9th. And we would start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And we'll start with Miss Reed will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right. I pledge allegiance
to
the flag of the United
States
of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so we do have some people here for public comment. If you wanted to speak, raise your hand and Peter will unmute you and let you speak. And if no one wants to speak, then we'll go to committee reports. We'll start with Miss Reed.
I have a very short report. The Personnel Committee met just earlier this evening. First time we have met since our last negotiation. We all remembered each other, although we were not all visible. We were all present in some technological form or other. And it was a preliminary meeting, and we will be meeting again on the issues that we met tonight, and eventually may or may not have something to report to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Campanell.
No report.
All right, Mr. Collins.
Yes, hi. The Sustainability Committee met with some department heads today. We reviewed two different objectives. One is to review the locations of, I believe I've reported to you all that we have included in our budget is a pilot project for parking sensors throughout our downtown. So we were able to provide the police chief, the fire chief, Tommy Gerard and Steve Gersler with a map showing the suggested locations of those sensors, parking sensors. Ask them to take a couple days and to make a note if there's any additional sensors they think we should have, or maybe we move a couple sensors to high concern areas. So they're going to do that. And the second thing we did is review with them the smart technology that would allow us to control our LED streetlights. One staff member will be able to manage this either through their phone or through a computer, and simply we'll set up the streetlights. We get to control the brightness or the dimness of lights, when they might turn up or down. And then it will notify us if a street light goes out. We get an email that says, hey, this particular light on this street needs to be replaced, and then we'd call for repairs. So those systems were reviewed with these leaders, and then they'll help us decide how best to move forward. And that is it.
Good.
Great, thank you. Ms. Palmer.
The Building and Codes Committee didn't meet, but we've been doing some work remotely. And so last time I was telling you that we're developing a frequently asked question sheet for our vacant property law, and that's now up on the website, and it went out as a notification. And we're also working on a list of resources to give to homeowners who may be at risk of becoming vacant. So that's what we're working on.
Okay, great. Mr. Enderberry.
I have no report.
Mr. Clark.
The Police Reform Committee has presented to the public the proposal. It's up on our city's website that the public can download the proposal. It is also in survey form, and I want to thank our councilwoman from the 3rd Ward, Diana, for doing that for us. It allows anyone to look at the proposal in a survey form and then present any comments or suggestions, anything like that. We also are, the committee is also going to be having a forum. So the survey ends on the 12th. Our public forum the committee will be holding is going to be on 2/18 at 6:30 via Zoom. Thank you, Peter, very much for that. And then we will be schedule a public hearing with the council on 3/9, and hopefully pass it that night, barring any unforeseen circumstances. If not, we still have the meeting of the 23rd to pass it, and then we can present it to the governor on before the 4th, or before April 1. So we're moving in a really good direction. I want to thank the committee members again for all their hard work, and the council and the mayor for their support along the way. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Great. So I want to backtrack a little bit. As you'll notice on your Zoom monitors, we have our new city attorney that was appointed last week, Karen Judd. Many of you are familiar with her. She was our assistant attorney for the city for a number of years. So we want to welcome her to our group. And I know we've already given her a couple things to do, so I know she'll do a good job. So I
Well,
wanted.
thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
And
Welcome
Karen, I
to
wanted to
see you.
introduce you to Megan Nolan. I don't know if you know Megan, but Megan has taken over as the Assistant Deputy Clerk for the City of Glens Falls. She replaces Noreen,
Maureen.
and she's been with us for some time, and she's been our webmaster for last couple of years. So she stepped right in. She had worked in the clerk's office before, so it was a smooth transition. So I want to welcome both of you guys. I know that Megan was here last week. So with that, I will go to the Common Council resolutions. And the first one under voice vote is a resolution accepting minutes of the January 26, 2021 meeting of the Glens Falls Common Council. 2 is a resolution accepting the January 2021 monthly report of the City Clerk Parking Violations Bureau.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Under the roll call vote, is there any of these resolutions you'd like to pull for further discussion? All right, number 3 is a resolution approving an encroachment permit for Patricia and Adrian Bethel Enterprises LTD, 32 Dix Avenue, filing planning board February 2nd favorable advisory opinion to increase a 10-foot curb cut to 20 feet at the west end of the 32 Dix Avenue property, extending westward from the telephone pole. 4 is a resolution approving an encroachment permit for Adirondack P&M PO Box 562, Glens Falls, is approved by Mayor Dan Hall on February 3rd, 2021 per City Code 189-19 BM, subject to Common Council review to close Laughton Place on Wednesday, February 10th, which is tomorrow, 2021, to traffic for a few hours to allow the removal of equipment from the roof of 237 Glen Street. 5 is a resolution approving an increase of $169,000 in capital fund for the downtown green infrastructure project, Elm Street parking lot. 6 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into renewal agreement with CT Mail for required monitoring of the closed Luzerne Road landfill, DEC site number 5-57-003 at an estimated cost of $38,535.72. Nope, I'm sorry. Yeah, 72 cents. An increase over last year of $636.32. 7 is a resolution setting a public hearing at 7:20 PM Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021, to consider submission of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, a sustainable amendment to City's Community Development Block Grant Program, CDBG, 5th year annual action plan, and FY 2019 CDBG program to add an allocation of a new CDBG CV3 funding from HUD as enacted under the Federal CARES Act in this amount of $162,525. 8 is a resolution authorizing controller to decrease the general fund balance by $125,000 and increase general fund expense line A78-170-8000.3 street cleaning retiree health by $125,000. 7 is a resolution authorizing payment of 4 deferred loans approved by the projects review committee by the Greater Glens Falls Local Development Corporation under the city's Small Business Recovery Fund, SBRF, created to help small businesses in the city of Glens Falls prepare for, prevent, and respond to COVID-19 with the funding provided by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development through an allocation of CDBG-CB funding as enacted under the Federal CARES Act and previously adopted by the Common Council as an amendment to the city's CDBG FY 2019 Annual Action Plan in accordance with the CDBG program regulations. 10 is a resolution approving and adopting an updated drug and alcohol testing policy for the Greater Glens Falls Transit. 11 is a resolution approving an agreement with Catamount Counseling Consulting for workplace health testing, random drug and alcohol testing. 12 is a resolution approving an agreement with WellNow Occupational Medicine for workplace health testing, pre-employment physicals, DOT physicals, etc. 13 is a resolution approving the warrant.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Okay, roll call vote.
Councilwoman at Large Reed,
Yes.
Councilman Campanell,
Yes.
Councilman Collins,
yes.
Councilwoman Palmer,
Yes.
Councilman Endivary,
Yes.
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Motion's pass. Old business, Ms. Reed,
I have none.
Mr. Campanell,
Not tonight.
Mr. Collins,
I have none.
Ms. Palmer,
I drove by Crandall Pond tonight. There's 6 ice lanterns out there. They're looking really nice and glowing, and the weather seems to be perfect for this. It's going to be cold. So, if you haven't made one, take one over. That's it.
okay, great. Mr. Endivary,
I just want to give a quick shout out to the City of Glens Falls School Board for, passing sports last night. I think that's a big deal. I think they made a good decision, and I think if they need to, they can shut it down and we can start over again, but I think it's worth a try. And I'm proud of those guys, so.
okay. Mr. Clark,
I have none.
okay. All right, new business, Ms. Reed,
I have none.
Mr. Campanell,
Yes, welcome aboard, Karen and Megan. And also I'd like to congratulate Councilman Clark and Councilwoman Palmer and the rest of the committee for the police reform. I think it's an excellent document, a great start. I know we had a head start with our accreditation with Chief Leiden, but this just moves us a lot further along. And I think the state and the governor will be pleased when they get the final results. So thank you again. Great job.
Yeah.
That is all.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thanks.
Mr. Collins,
I have none.
okay. Ms. Palmer,
I got an email from the Arbor Day Foundation that they'd like us to renew our Tree City status application. So I can work on that unless there's someone else that wants to work on it. And also we may be eligible for a growth award because we're investing in the tree inventory. So that's worth applying for too.
okay, great.
And then I wanted to mention that tomorrow night I'll be holding a Third Ward Community Forum with Supervisor Bramer, and we have Dan Durkee from Warren County Health joining us. So that'll be a Zoom meeting, and that information has been posted, but if anyone needs it, they can email me and I can send it right along as well.
Okay, great. Mr. Endivary,
I have none.
Mr. Clark,
I have none.
okay, great. So I have a few things. I wanted to report that our sales tax numbers for the year came in and we were only down 0.002. So we were pretty
Wow.
much exactly where we were last year. Very
Yep.
close, just a few dollars off, which is
Great.
very, very good news. As Miss Reed had talked about before the meeting, we put out the RFP for Market Square. And we did have many people that had inquired, over 107. And I think we're going to have about 33 people in on our meeting that we were having on Zoom. It's a pre-bid meeting coming up on Thursday. The drive competition that part of the DRI has gotten a lot of response. We've gotten, about 20 inquiries. We will have sent out applications. The application deadline, I believe, is the 12th of March. So hopefully, it's created buzz. We got people calling that want us to either, if they're existing business looking for some help and we're putting them towards the the idea that we had with the CARES Act money that we had for that $7,500 loan. So we've got more of those you approved for tonight. So I think we're up to 12 or 13 that we've approved to help our small businesses. We've also had Jeff Flagg, who is, in his second week. We've got him going pretty strong. We got through a lot of stuff at him. I also have a meeting on Mondays. Every Monday, we have a Zoom meeting with the mayors in the Capital District area. And this week it was Albany, Schenectady, Troy, and we're talking about making sure that our senior citizens can get vaccinated. And so we're working on that with the Alliance of Health and trying to make sure that our most vulnerable population gets vaccinated. So we'll be talking to Warren County Health, and Chief Schrammel obviously helps us on that. So I have a couple of reports on letters of recommendation for our police department. Tony Mandy got one from St. Mary's School because they feel that he does a great job in the daytime with the children, directing them and making sure they cross the street properly. We also have in our snowstorm on December 17th, we had a gentleman call the police department and ask for assistance because he couldn't get out. He needed to get to his mailbox to get his medicines, and he was having some difficulties. So two of our police officers, Samantha Smith and Nick Reisendorf, went over, shoveled him out, and the guy was very grateful. So the chief of police gave them a letter of recommendation. So I think that was a great thing, and we're appreciative of what they did. So does anyone else have any other comments? How about any public comments? Anyone from the public? If you'd like to speak, raise your hand, and Peter would unmute you.
Claudia first, of course.
Someone go.
Claudia?
Okay, I'll go. Thanks. I unmuted myself. Thanks. I wanted to mention about our third ward forum, which is tomorrow night. Councilwoman Palmer already mentioned that. And since you mentioned, Mayor, about helping with the vaccine distribution to our seniors, I know that's been a really frustrating process. If people know of seniors who need help, you can reach out to me and I can help get them to somebody at the county. We don't have any extra vaccine doses at this minute, but it's always good to have them. If they need help, I can help get them to the right people that will help them identify where the doses might be. And I'm sure you guys have seen in the paper that there is a mass vaccination site that's been prepared by the state, and it's sitting up across the highway from the county campus. We're just waiting for the distribution of the vaccine to come to us, and then we'll be able to open that up. But people in the meantime should still continue going to the I Am Eligible New York website to find out if they're eligible yet and where the appointment sites are, in addition to being able to go to the private pharmacies that are getting the vaccine straight from the federal government. So right now the county doesn't really have a lot of vaccines to distribute. So I urge people to just continue going to the New York website and checking the private pharmacies. So those two things. Also, the county sheriff's office is working on our police reform plan. We should be able to, we've been in discussions with the public, the sheriff has been, but we should be able to roll that out for greater public comment pretty soon. And I did want to give out a little of my own recommendation to our Glens Falls Police Department. I have a friend from Pittsburgh who she is friends with an attorney general down there, and they came here to Glens Falls to do some investigative work. And they said that our police department was really amazing, the officers and the detectives, and she was really impressed. So I was really happy to hear that and very proud of our department. Our little, Glens Falls Police Department was great for her to work with. And lastly, I do want to mention about the pond. Everything's been looking great over there. And so I thank Councilwoman Palmer for leading that effort again this year, even though it has to be a little bit different because of COVID, but DPW is doing a great job cleaning it and keeping it safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have comments from Robin Barkenhagen.
On behalf of the collaborative, we are again continuing our restaurant bingo. We're actually going to extend it a couple more weeks into March. It was a slow rollout, so we want to make sure that everyone's got a chance to participate. Some people aren't issuing receipts now, due to COVID, don't want to touch something, hand it to someone. So really all you have to do is do a selfie with your food and that will, help causes your receipt. And we're actually going to do a contest at the end. The best selfie pictures with your food is going to win a prize. So we're doing what we can to help the restaurants. Our first scheduled event was going to be Pet Fest, May 22nd. We now feel that's ambitious, even if things get better. Well, things will get better, but when things get better quickly, we won't have a lot of time to plan. So we're going to push that back to the fall. So right now, our first kickoff event would be July 7th would be Take a Bite. And we really are looking forward to hitting that. We really hope that the vaccinations are going to kick in and COVID's going to wane enough that we can get a good safety plan in place and we can do our Take a Bites this summer. So that's where we're at and that's where we're going. So thank you guys all for everything.
Thank you.
True.
Is there anyone else that wants to make any more comments?
There's no one
Okay.
right now.
All right, seeing none, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Guys.
Safe out
Go
there.
Syracuse.